What's up? It's True Business Review. Just so you guys know, we're a brand and it's a co-run channel. I'm Mike. You may have seen some videos made by Dan. We're running this channel together and we're doing videos together and separately. So don't be confused. Today, I'm doing my NFC East predictions video for the upcoming season. You may want to go check out Dan's predictions for each individual team, record-wise. In this video, I'm going to highlight how I believe this division will play out. Let's get into it. So, how I'm going to be doing these division videos, I'm going to rank each team from first to last and how I think their team's record will be throughout the season. So, obviously, number one team will probably win the division record-wise, and number four team will lose the division, obviously. So, to begin, the NFC East. Redskins, Cowboys, Eagles, Giants. 4 teams, the most combined Super Bowls out of any division in NFL history. However, the previous 2 years, this division has not fared as well compared to other divisions. So that's something to keep in mind. However, myself, I am an Eagles fan. So you might see that in this video, you might not. We're going to start off with number 4. I believe the worst team in this division. It's between 2 teams, and I'm going to choose the Washington Redskins. The Redskins are not a good team. They just got a new coach, Ron Rivera, and what we're going to see this year, teams with new coaching staffs, obviously because of the coronavirus pandemic, it's going to impact training camp and how new coaches get to adapt to their players and how they communicate and everything. So with a new coach, he's not going to have the time to have his team practice the way that he wants to as compared to the way that they're probably used to practicing under their previous coach. So that's going to really impact, player to coach, communication, and chemistry is what I'm trying to say. So that's why that's one bad thing about. I think Ron Rivera is a better coach than Gruden, so I think that's a plus. But just this year in general, if you have a new coaching staff, it's going to be worse. I also, talent-wise, the Redskins are not good. I think their running back, Darius Geis, was injured last year. So we're still a little clueless on him, but Adrian Peterson probably going to retire soon. They just traded, I think, for Kyle Allen. So I don't know. I don't think Kyle Allen would start over Dwayne Haskins. Because Dwayne Haskins, Kyle Allen, who knows? They just got rid of Case Keenum. The only player I look forward to seeing on the Redskins is Terry McLaurin. He was on my fantasy team. Terry McLaurin's an animal, scary Terry. Going to be a great wide receiver. But the thing that happened last year, with Case Keenum, he built a little bit of repertoire and chemistry, and they really got things going in the beginning of the season. And then Dwayne Haskins, fellow Ohio State member, came in as quarterback, and his stats kind of fell off and his production dropped off a little bit. So I'm curious to see how that will play into events. Terry McLaurin's a really good player, though. One of the best wide receivers in the division. All right, number 4 is the Redskins. Number 3, and the team that arguably... number 3 is the New York Giants, all right? The New York Giants, the reason that they're higher than the Redskins is because I believe their offense is much more dynamic. Daniel Jones, better quarterback. They have they have good threats at wide receiver. I'm pretty sure they have Golden Tate, Sterling Shepard, and who's the other guy? I forget. Darius Slayton. Darius Slayton came out of nowhere, but they're all honestly pretty good wide receivers, and obviously they have the best running back, top 3 running back in the NFL, of Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley came out of Penn State, absolute animal. You know I'm a Penn State fan. Saquon Barkley, OP. All right, so they have a really good offense with I think Evan Ingram's one of the best tight ends in the game too. So keep that in mind. So it's Ingram, Slayton, Tate, Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley. I don't understand how that offense isn't scoring a lot of points every game, but once they mesh together, maybe things will be different. However, defensively, they need some work. The defense is pretty bad. I can't even think of any good players on their defense, so that's a problem. Honestly, I remember when they had a decent defense, and it was literally because Landon Collins carried them. Landon Collins is gone. The Giants' defense is horrible. All right, the number 2 team. Obviously, this number 2 team will reveal who my number 1 team is, and I'm giving number 2 to the Dallas garbage can Cowboys. All right, so obviously, I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan, but I sincerely believe that the Eagles are going to win this division. So the reason why, I believe talent-wise, the Eagles and Cowboys are, fairly generally even. However, the Cowboys had a lot of key departures this season. Byron Jones started 73 games in the Dallas secondary, and he was their first-round selection, but he's gone to Miami now. Malik Collins is gone in free agency. He started 55 games at defensive tackle. Jeff Heath, I'm pretty sure he retired. He was a really good safety and special teams player. And also another key department was Robert Quinn, defensive end, and Randall Cobb, of course. So while these players did leave, the Cowboys did try and fill this void. They brought in Clinton Dix, safety, and they brought in defensive tackle Gerald McCoy. So obviously, I'm not going to say that they're better or worse, but they're different kinds of players. And we would see. I think Robert Quinn and Byron Jones are obviously like as a package better than those two. But it's going to be curious to see how these new players function under a new coach of Mike McCarthy. Or is it Mike McCarthy? I think it is, right? Yeah, whatever his name is, the Packers guy. So, obviously, Clinton Dix played under McCarthy previously in Green Bay. So they probably know what they're doing together. But just in general, a new coach coming in, like they have training camp to adapt and teach the players how they're going to be coached and how they should play. But with the coronavirus pandemic, who knows how it's going to impact the team. I think that Mike McCarthy's not going to have time to implement, what he does, especially compared to the Eagles. Let's go to the number one Eagles right now. Doug Peterson, he obviously knows what he's doing. He taught the whole entire roster because we were all injured. Everybody in that locker room knows what they're doing. And in addition, we went from having 0 receivers, we're going to have like 40. Alshon might not be available for starting day because of surgery for his shoulder, I believe. But we got D-Jax. We got Jalen Reagor. We just traded for Marquise Goodwin. We got Nelson. No. Don't even let me start on Nelson Aguilar. Worst receiver in the whole NFL. But ignore Nelson Aguilar, of course. Stupid garbage can. But we got some really good wide receivers in our locker room now. We got a lot of speed threats. I hope we utilize Greg Ward just because he was the only player that actually performed last year. But the Eagles have a better defense, I believe. You look at Darius Slay versus Amari Cooper, career-wise. Amari Cooper never performs well against Darius Slay. He has the worst stats out of anyone in his career going against Darius Slay at corner. That's one of the reasons the Eagles traded for him, because it's a divisional move. Darius Slay is known to shut down Amari Cooper, so bam, bam. Obviously, the Cowboys, whatever, they got a steal in the draft, CeeDee Lamb. Okay, the Eagles drafted Nicole Roby-Coleman. I trust Roby-Coleman on the outside to cover CeeDee Lamb. Obviously, he might be able to get open a couple times because Coleman's not the best cornerback in the league, but he's manageable. So, really, and then it comes down to defensive line. With Robert Quinn leaving, I don't think that Gerald McCoy is going to be able to fill that void. I know that the Cowboys also lost their center to retirement. I think his name is Travis Frederick. And I think that the Eagles' defensive line is going to be pretty solid this year. Fletcher Cox. And we're getting a couple people back from injuries. So there are my predictions. We got Redskins, Giants, Cowboys, Eagles. Let me know your thoughts down below. Subscribe and like.